Ever crack open one of those, like, big brand histories expecting some kind of smooth ride,
Hmm?
and then, bam, you find like a whole bunch of potholes you never expected.
Yeah, yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
That's kind of what we're looking at today with Harley Davidson, right?
Interesting.
We've been digging into a ton of research on him, this iconic, motorcycle maker. And honestly,
Mm.
I got to say, some of the stuff we found about the challenges they've hit, kind of surprising.
Well, when a brand's been around as long as Harley Davidson has, bound to be some bumps along the road, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I mean, this first one seems like almost too simple to be a real problem, but it bit him hard.
Hmm.
Brake fluid.
Really?
Yeah. So between 2008 and 2011, they had this like wave of complaints, right, about their braking systems. And you'd think, oh, maybe some big engineering flaw, right?
Right. Got to be something complicated.
But nope. Owners weren't replacing their brake fluid.
Wow, you're kidding.
I know, right? You think with a machine like that?
Yeah. It's the basics, though, isn't it?
It really is.
Mm.
And get this, that whole thing, basic as it sounds, it snowballed into a massive recall in 2016.
How massive are we talking?
Over 174,000 motorcycles.
Wow.
All because of something as simple as brake fluid.
Yeah, I mean, it does make you wonder about,
The brand, right. The image
Exactly.
of like rugged reliability and then this simple maintenance thing causes such a headache.
Yeah, totally. And it gets you thinking, right? If something that routine can cause that much trouble, what else might be going on under the hood?
Right, exactly.
Which brings us to the twin cam engine, a Harley staple for a long time, from 99 to 2017.
Oh, yeah, I remember those.
So we're not talking about just a few isolated incidents here.
Yeah.
This engine, which they used for almost 2 decades,
Mm-hmm.
it had a reputation.
Yeah.
Oil leaks were a big one, and then premature wear on the cam chain tensioners.
Oof, those are not minor fixes.
No, not at all. Those are the kind of repairs that can really set someone back. Yeah, especially for something that's supposed to be, the heart of the machine. It makes you think about the pressure Harley might have been under, to keep costs down. Maybe something had to give and it was the quality of parts or something.
It's possible, and it's not like they could just slap any old engine in there.
Yeah.
Those big, powerful engines, they're like part of the whole Harley mystique, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
And speaking of things that could put a dent in that image, they tried to, get with the times, integrate more tech into their bikes. And, well, it didn't exactly go smoothly.
What happened?
So this was early 2010s, right?
Okay.
They rolled out these 2014 Rushmore models. And I'm not talking about just a radio acting up. We're talking like system-wide issues.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Riders were reporting all sorts of things. Bluetooth wouldn't connect reliably. Navigation screens blanking out.
Yeah.
Even cases of the whole system just completely locking up.
That's not great.
No, not at all. Not exactly the smooth ride you expect from a Harley,
No, not at all. And, it's worth noting, Harley wasn't alone in this. The whole motorcycle industry was kind of struggling with how to integrate all this new tech. It was a big shift.
Right. It's like suddenly you need a computer science degree to fix a motorcycle.
It really was a challenge for those legacy brands like Harley trying to adapt.
And, it's a good reminder that even the big names, they stumble sometimes.
Happens to the best of them.
And for Harley, these tech issues, they weren't happening in a vacuum.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, they were getting hit with some pretty serious financial headwinds.
Oh, yeah, I remember reading about that. It was not pretty.
No, not at all. 2020, they posted a loss,
Ouch.
and their revenue
Yeah.
tanked. We're talking a 39% drop.
That's huge.
Yeah, I mean, imagine your favorite restaurant suddenly serving like 39% fewer customers.
Yeah, you'd be worried.
Exactly. It's a clear sign something's wrong. And it wasn't like this came out of nowhere. U.S. sales had been dropping for 16 quarters straight.
Wow, what is that, 4 years?
4 years, yeah, of decline. And it wasn't just a U.S. thing either. Globally, Harley registrations were cut in half between 2014 and 2020.
Wow, so this was a big picture problem.
Big picture. And it wasn't a blip. They had a little bit of a recovery in 2021.
Okay.
But then 2023, they hit a record low in sales, just under 170,000 bikes.
That's got to be tough to swallow.
And it really makes you think, this wasn't just some temporary market thing. Something else was going on. And it leads us to what might be the most surprising challenge Harley faced during all this.
What's that?
Repossessing motorcycles.
Really?
They were actually struggling to find enough repo agents to handle all the bikes being repossessed.
That's fascinating. I mean, what does that tell you about their customer base at the time?
Right. And it makes you wonder,
Were they having trouble attracting buyers who could, actually afford the bikes? Was there something going on with their lending practices?
yeah, you look at the image, right? That image of freedom, the open road. And then you have this going on. It's like finding a crack in the foundation of a monument.
It really makes you question, what's really going on behind the scenes.
Exactly. And it leaves us with a lot to think about, doesn't it?
It does.
Can Harley turn it around? Can they get back to where they were? What does their story tell us about, what these big iconic brands are facing these days? It's a lot to unpack. And honestly, we could keep going, but
Always more to uncover, right?
always more to uncover. So we'll leave you with those questions to ponder. Keep digging, do some research of your own, and we'll be back soon for another deep dive.
Looking forward to it.